Welcome to Moto Vibes Update, your ultimate stop for everything automotive. Today, we're diving into one of the most surprising and nostalgic revivals in the automotive world, the all-new 2026 Ford Model T. Yes, you heard that right. Ford has brought back the icon that started it all, but this time, it's modern, electric, and ready for the future. Ford's decision to resurrect the legendary Model T wasn't just about paying tribute to history, it's about blending the soul of a classic with the demands of the modern world. The original Model T, released in 1908, revolutionized the auto industry by making cars affordable for the masses. Now, over a century later, the 2026 version is once again trying to shake up the market, but with a completely different approach. The 2026 Model T is now a fully electric vehicle, built on Ford's next-generation compact F platform. It's lightweight, minimalistic, and designed for urban and suburban users who crave simplicity, sustainability, and affordability. The design carries strong visual nods to the original A-round headlamps, high-riding stance, and even a modern reinterpretation of the original black-only paint job. But under the skin, it's a totally different machine. The powertrain is all-electric, offering a 45 to 60 kilowatt-hours battery pack with two variants. The base version comes with the single-motor setup producing around 150 horsepower and a range of about 280 kilometers. The more premium version gets dual motors with AWD, 220 horsepower, and up to 370 kilometers of range. Ford's goal here isn't to compete with the high-performance EVs, but to deliver a reliable, no-nonsense electric car that takes you from point A to B with character. Charging is handled via a Type 2 and CCS combo port, offering fast charging up to 100 kilowatts. That means a 20% to 80% top-up in just about 30 minutes at a DC fast charger, making it practical for daily driving. On home charging, you're looking at a full charge overnight with a standard level 2 outlet. Now let's talk about the interior. This is where Ford has really embraced the retro modern concept. The cabin is simple and functional, with recycled materials, cloth seats, a minimalist dashboard, and a central digital display that controls most functions. Think of it as a mix between old-school charm and new-school tech. There's no traditional speedometer. Instead, a single screen behind the steering wheel gives you speed, battery, range, and navigation. Voice assistant and smartphone connectivity come standard. Safety hasn't been ignored either, even though it's positioned as a budget-friendly EV. The 2026 Model T gets Ford's Co-Pilot 360 safety suite, including automatic emergency braking, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, and adaptive cruise control. There's even an optional driver monitoring system in the higher trims. One of the most exciting things about this car is its price. Ford has announced that the base variant of the new Model T will start under $20,000 in the US, making it one of the most affordable EVs in the market. Even the top trim is expected to stay below the $25,000 mark. This is Ford's attempt to bring electric mobility to the masses, just like it did with internal combustion over 100 years ago. But Ford isn't just relying on nostalgia. They've backed this car with a strong strategy targeting young urban drivers, first-time car buyers, and even small businesses looking for an efficient delivery vehicle. In fact, there's already talk of a cargo van variant that'll use the same platform and electric drivetrain. It could serve as a brilliant replacement for urban fleets needing a green solution. Now, when it comes to customization, Ford has taken inspiration from the original Model T's versatility. Buyers can choose from a variety of accessories: roof racks, panel covers, unique color wraps, and even throwback-style white wall tires. There's also a heritage pack that adds more vintage-inspired touches, both inside and out. The driving dynamics, well, it's not a performance machine, but it's surprisingly nimble. Thanks to its low weight and instant electric torque, city driving feels zippy and responsive. The steering is light, turning radius is tight, and it handles speed bumps and rough roads comfortably. Suspension is tuned more for comfort than sport, which makes sense considering the car's purpose. Ford says they're aiming to manufacture the new Model T in several global markets, including North America, Europe, and parts of Asia. This could be a huge game changer for developing nations where affordability and fuel economy still matter the most. Of course, there are critics who say this car is too basic, or that it's banking too much on nostalgia. But the truth is, that's exactly what makes the 2026 Ford Model T so unique. In a market flooded with high-tech EVs, hyperscreens, and autonomous ambitions, the Model T is simple, honest, and charmingly human. So, will the new Model T become the people's car once again? That depends on how the public responds, but one thing's for sure, Ford has taken a bold step by bringing back a legend in a form we never expected. That wraps up today's in-depth look at the 2026 Ford Model T. If you enjoyed this video and want more updates from the world of two wheels and four, don't forget to subscribe to Moto Vibes Update and hit that bell icon. We'll be back soon with more exciting content. Until then, ride safe, drive smart, and stay tuned.